The full spoilers for One Piece Chapter 1167 have just dropped. And if you have not checked them out for yourself, I'll be linking it down in the pinned comment as well as typing out piece by piece. So if all you're here for are spoilers, you can check it out there and get the hell out of here. So, with the detailed summary in front of us, I've learned about a lot of clarifications that I need to address from last video. Because last video, I was like, okay guys, the spoilers are saying one thing, it could be this, but we gotta wait for, more spoilers, more details read on, or just the chapter in general. So, let's get into the clarifications. First up, Shanks. Is he the eye-patched man? More leakers have come out and said that no, he's not wearing an eye patch, he simply has something covering his eye, which you could argue is like the same thing, but it looks like Shanks is simply, hiding this scar that he got from Blackbeard, or maybe it's a recent scar and it's actual just like bandages, which I gotta say is still interesting because we don't have a time frame on when Blackbeard actually scarred Shanks. We know a rough estimate, but we don't know the actual time frame. So here we go. It looks like the Blackbeard scar in this flashback might be recent, or perhaps Shanks is just hiding the scar because he doesn't like the way it looks. Either way, yes, that is our first clarification. The second one has to do with the creature that Worstgen said that Garling gave to King Herald. I don't know why they called it a creature, because it's just a Denden Mushi, a long-range Denden Mushi. It's like, bro, like what? I mean, maybe it looks different. We've never seen a super long-range one, so perhaps it looks like a creature, but yeah, I thought that was so interesting. I was reading the spoilers, and I was like, wait, Denden Mushi? Worstgen, why'd you call it a creature? Fair enough. Maybe it'll look crazy when we see it, though, but yeah, I'll give him some leeway on that one. So, into the chapter now. We're going to tackle this chronologically, hit pretty much every single bullet point. The first thing we got is a reader request, with Nojiko and Genzo stopping a cat from stealing a book about how to catch fish. Cool. When it comes to these reader requests, the one thing I really enjoy is when fan favorite characters show up, or characters that we rarely see show up. And I think this does fall among the latter. As far as Nojiko and Genzo, I like them. I really hope that they come back sooner rather than later, or come back at all. Genzo, man, I remember when I first saw him as a kid, I thought he had aura. All the scars on his face, the soldier uniform, the stupid pinwheel hat. Ah, man, I thought he was gonna be strong as hell. Turns out, he is not that strong. But maybe it changed. Maybe he locked in, and we're gonna see post-time skip Genzo going insane in the final war. Either way, on to the chapter. We see that King Harald is working for the world government. He is going around attacking pirate ships, helping the Navy. And because usually whenever he shows up, mist is around him because he's trying to stay hidden, he is known as the monster hidden in the mist. But the narrator does go on and they clarify that he is not the Florian Triangle monster. The narrator wants to draw that distinction right there. And I'm just kind of wondering why. Like, why even bring up the Florian Triangle monsters in this instance if you're going to outright say it's not Herald? I think that this could just be a hint from Oda, our first real hint as to what the Florian Triangle monsters are. I don't think they're just giants in the water. I feel like it's going to be something more than that. Maybe it's like Void Century giants in the water, which you could argue is like the same thing that I just said. It wasn't, but yeah, I feel like Oda is just simply dropping a clue as to what they are. Maybe like a connection. But either way, like, I just look at those Florian Triangle monsters, brother, and I still do not see those things as human. Like, it literally looks like giant versions of emu. So something's going on there, and Oda's trying to, dance around it a little bit. And I'm happy about that, right? That's one of those mysteries that's been with us for so long now. And it's like, okay, Oda hasn't forgotten. He remembers that that's a plot point. Thank you. So, on to the next big thing. We see that many years have actually passed. Roger is dead by this point in time, so that does mean that Harold's been working for the WG for at least 14 years, and he is finally being promoted to Devoted Blade of God, a confidant of the Knights of God, and he was marked with a tattoo on his left arm. Herald says, "What an honor!" I've seen people hating on Herald because he says that. But it's like, bro, what are you supposed to say, man? You've been working 14 years for this goal. Like, you doubled down last chapter. Yes, he's gonna say what an honor. People are calling him a rat, but it's like, brother, like, what am I gonna do? Spit on my boss's shoes when he gives me a promotion? Nah, dude, what the heck? The 5 elders say that there are 3 stages to the contract, and we actually get Redon's translations here, and it's pretty interesting. The first level is the Surface Sea Contract. This sounds like a pyramid scheme. It is but a faint tie to the Great One. Then we have the Deep Sea Contract, and then the Sea Floor Contract. These are the vows exchanged between the 13 chosen and God. Herald says, God? And then, of course, Nisdro doesn't explain too much. He's like, if a day should come where you're granted with the title of Knight of God, ... So it looks like, obviously, when you hit that final rank, you learn about Emu's existence, which is pretty cool. I don't know, man. Like, it's nice to join a group like this and see where your ambition can lead you, right? It sounds silly, but it's like, like if you join a pirate crew, you have to work hard to become vice captain or hope they die. But here it's like, no, you join and you just keep on working. You're up there, brother. I like that. So as far as the vow exchange between 13 chosen and God, I'm assuming the 13, 5 of them are the Gorsei, and then the other 8 are the God Knights we saw at God Valley, because we only saw 8 of those dudes, if I recall correctly. I'm trying to pin it all down. I feel like current day, the number is going to be very different. And I think it is different because when we saw the dragon silhouettes, right, of the Knights of God, there were 9 of them, 9 or 10 of those guys. So yes, the number has changed from this flashback to current day. Going back to the name of these contracts, I think this is further reinforcing the idea that Emu backwards, meaning Umi, is what Oda was going for this entire time, which Umi, if you guys haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! Or don't know Japanese, that means water or sea. So yeah, Emu being the sea god is looking better and better with each and every passing day. Personally, I think he's the moon god, because the moon in a lot of, fantasies and I guess even in real life, the moon kind of controls the tides in the sea. So that's personally where I'm putting my money at. But let me know, what do you guys think about this sea connection? Is Oda finally confirming that Emu is the Seaman? The Seaman, huh? Which, very fitting for a pirate manga, the Seaman. So, another thing about this that I kind of wish we got is what do each and every one of these levels give you, right? If you're level 1, if you're a devotee Knight of God member, do you get powers, regeneration, abyss circle? Like what are the tiers to this? I'm assuming you don't get immortality until the very last level, but you still age, right? You still age, because that's the weird thing. Like Garling, for example, he has aged throughout the years. Sommers has aged throughout the years. Gunko hasn't. And by God Valley's point in time, Gunko was just a devotee. So it's like, wait, she got promoted up, I'm assuming, but yet she didn't age. Whereas Garling's kind of always been up there, but he has been aging. So there is still a difference between Gunko and a lot of these other boys. And yeah, I am just curious about that. But I doubt, the world government comes with a pamphlet telling you what each and every level does for you. So Herald says, hey, if I become a Knight of God, the highest tier member, will Elbaf be welcomed into the WG after all? And the elders say, indeed. Herald finally can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Of course, we know that light doesn't exist because, we exist in the current day. But Herald finally has some sort of hope here. What's crazy, or at least what I'm thinking of right now, is that a lot of other nations don't have to get a Knight of God into the realm to become a world government member. It looks like this is only a thing for Elbaf, at least right now. And one of the main things I go back to is Fishman Island. Fishman Island is one of the more recent countries that allied with the WG. And I'm like, I wonder if Fishman Island had to give up somebody to become a Knight of God, to become a member of the world government, which kind of goes back to the Killingham thing, right? People think that Killingham is a fishman, so it's like, hey, maybe that's how Fishman Island became a part of the gang. it's because they gave up Killingham's family, which would be pretty interesting in my opinion. So, we see that Garling does give Herald a long-distance Dendenmushi, and then after that, Herald goes down to the seafloor to talk to King Neptune. Neptune tells Herald that his daughter is about to be born, and he's joking that Loki should actually marry Shirahoshi at some point. They should get engaged. And Herald, just like Roger, refers to Shirahoshi as Harry. Mosa. And if you don't get the joke, it's because King Neptune is very hairy. He doesn't shave his chest hair, which I don't really get. I feel like if you're a merman, right? You're touted for swimming really fast. Shave the chest hair, man. Maybe you'll, knock off a couple of seconds. But either way, it looks like the Shirahoshi is Mosa theories are going wild yet again. This isn't the first time you might have heard these theories pop up, and it is because of the Mosa line. Roger dropped that a long time ago, and it looks like Oda is doubling down on the hairy daughter. Is Shirahoshi Mosa? I'm going to hold the poll in the main channel in a couple of days to see how everybody feels about this one. Personally, I don't mind it. It's just not a theory that I believed in or still believe in too much. Like, I see the connection. It's on the nose, brother. Mosa, Shirahoshi, like, timid. Yes, it kind of fits there. But for me, I just don't know why Shirahoshi wouldn't mention Loki beforehand. Like, while we were at Fishman Island, oh, hey, Luffy, you're the first person I've talked to. It's like, wait, like, you've been talking to Loki too? Like, you didn't tell us? I just personally feel like Shirahoshi would have divulged this information to the Straw Hats during that arc. And then the whole thing about, oh, like, is that thing happening again? When Loki was talking to Shirahoshi, it's like, well, like, what's happening? Is somebody attacking Fishman Island? Is it Blackbeard? Like, what's going on here? I guess one explanation for the nasty event that Shirahoshi could have gone through, the first one, of course, would have been Vanderdecken. But if we want something more recent, it could be when Shirahoshi was about to get kidnapped and turned into a slave. Maybe that is what they were talking about. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't mind the theory, but I still think a lot of things need to be cleared up. And, another thing is that we have timeline to an extent, because we know that Loki has been talking to Mosa for a good minute. So it's not like a new thing, right? They must have been talking for years, which Shirahoshi's been locked up for years. But again, I feel like we would have heard about Loki while we were at Fishman Island if this is the case. And then another thing we have to clear up is, how did Shirahoshi get a Dendenmushi all the way to Elbaf when she's been locked in the Heartshield Tower pretty much all her life? One thing that could clear that up is what we got just a second ago, with Garling giving Herald a long-distance Dendenmushi. Maybe that is the Dendenmushi that connects Shirahoshi and Loki. I think that'd be beautiful, but I need to see the Dendenmushi. Like, is it really the snow-resistant one? Is it like the big one? I don't know, man. I don't know. Either way, though, I think there will be a Loki-Shirahoshi connection in the future. Even if she's not Mosa, I think they will connect. Mainly because Shirahoshi is, the legendary Poseidon mermaid born once every 900 years. And then we have Loki, who I also, this is a theory, pure headcanon, I also think Loki is going to be another reincarnation. The eyes are special. I think he's going to have some sort of power, kind of like Shirahoshi. Let me know, though, you guys. Do you think Shirahoshi is Mosa, yay or nay? Like I said, I'm in the middle camp. I just need more proof. I need more things to, connect, which Oda can definitely give us later. So, we see that Fisher Tiger has escaped from Marie Joie. We also see Hancock and her sisters running away as well. And we see a mysterious figure has been helping Fisher Tiger this entire time. And it's very clear, according to Redon, that this person was indeed Shanks. We move on, and Herald arrives at the Holy Land during the next couple of days, and he sees Shanks talking with Shamrock in the city. Shanks has been living in Marie Joie with his dad and brother. The Garland family, dude. Shanks is wearing a Knight of God uniform like his brother, and he has the bandage over his left eye. No explanation about why he has it, but I think Blackbeard is a pretty safe assumption. Maybe there's another reason, but yes. There's that, and they were talking about the Fisher Tiger incident. Shanks says, "Let's go, Shamrock. Tell me more about the Holy Land, brother. I want to capture that culprit so I can be useful. Do we have any clues so far? It's like the SpongeBob meme where, you know, he's the police officer looking for the wanted criminal and there's a poster of him right behind him. And we get the narrator box calling him the devoted blade of God for Garland family, Saint Shanks. And then Shamrock says, it's wiser to wait until you're all healed up, Shanks. Shanks is angered by that. He says, you guys wouldn't get it. How it feels to have wasted 24 years of your life. No wonder I always felt like I didn't belong. Everything there was disgusting. In reference to Roger's ship. And it's like, bro, this guy is lying, man. Shanks is straight lying to these guys. And, you know, I could see why the Fagarlands would forgive him, because it's like, I mean, he was a baby. He was kidnapped, right? And if Shamrock is a prodigy within the Holy Land, yeah, let's bring in Shanks. I gotta admit, though, I just do feel a little bit sad, though, for Doflamingo. Because it's like, dude, Doflamingo wanted to go back to the Holy Land. They didn't let him back in, but they let Shanks in? Bro, come on. And the thing is, Dopey would have been an amazing Knight of God. Brother, he would have been like abyssal rank. He would have been deep sea level. Oh, dude. People are saying the Don Quixote family doesn't have that sway within the Holy Land. That could be true. But the thing is, right, even though Doflamingo's dad gave up his Celestial Dragon card, Mjolnir is still there. Like, there's still more Don Quixotes up there. Somebody vouch for Dopey, man. Now I get why Doflamingo was so upset. He's like, oh, I want to rip down the perch those Celestial Dragons are sitting on. It's because he saw the clear favoritism. He's like, wait, you let Shanks in, but not me? Bro, Shanks is an op. Oh, damn. So we go on to the last parts of the chapter. And we see that Ida has fallen ill. But she doesn't want to call King Harald because she knows that he's doing important stuff. And this is awful. I mean, dude, imagine you're Herald. He was gone and Estrid died because she was sick. And now he's gone again and Ida's gonna die because she's sick. Brother, every time he leaves home, which is pretty much like every 24 hours, somebody dies. So here we go. Hyrudan leaves Elbaf to go find a doctor. And Loki is worried about her, but he simply won't say anything out loud about it. We see a conversation between Ida and her friends, and she says that even though they're not connected by blood, Loki is her precious son, just like Hyrudan. End of the chapter. Loki sees that it was Estrid's hometown, the Brewer's Village, Alcohol Village, that actually poisoned Ida. Loki says, wait, what did you say? The Brewer's Village Giant says, I'm talking about the absurdity of letting that outside woman become a queen. Surely you agree, Loki. We're both the same clan as Estrid. All the treasure and power belongs to us. That's why I poisoned her. I can't believe he's admitting this. That's crazy, dude. No one can stop it anymore. Her fate is sealed. She's good as dead. And then, in the last page of the chapter, we get a double page where Loki destroys the entire village. He sets it on fire and he grabs the giant by the neck. And the giant's like, Loki, what the hell? What are you doing? And Loki says, I won't die from this, right? I remember my biological mother, Estrid. She threw me into the underworld in distaste. Screw the treasure. What a trash-ass clan. Ida better not die from this. She's the only one who I'd call my mom. I think this is so sweet. And it's sad because we know that Ida's gonna die. You know, like, we came into the flashback pretty much knowing that Estrid's gonna die, Harold's gonna die, Rox is gonna die, Ida's gonna die. Nothing but death here, man. It's like the Grim Reaper meme now where, you know, it's just walking by the doors killing everybody. Yeah, Ida's cooked. And, you know, it's funny because when we came to Elbaf, we heard that Loki was an arsonist. You know, he goes around destroying villages. Yeah, he did that beforehand. Yeah, we saw that. But now it's like, okay, this is a justified burning, though, right? I think we can all agree Loki's very justified in destroying Estrid's hometown. And brother, one thing I want to point out is that Loki remembers the day of his birth. Loki was born and thrown off Elbaf Dude, he was like maybe 5 minutes old. He remembers that? That's crazy. And this goes back to God Valley because I'm like, oh, guys, you know, Blackbeard probably has a vendetta against the people who were at God Valley. And then a lot of people are like, oh, but Sai, you know, Blackbeard's only 2 years old. He won't remember this. Dude, it's One Piece. Loki remembers the day he was born. He remembers the reason why his mom threw him off even. Yeah, I think Blackbeard remembers God Valley, at least a little bit. But yeah, dude, that is it for this week's chapter. Good stuff across the board. I love it. You know, I'm all for learning more about the God Knights, the Holy Land, just how they work, the inner machinations. I'm all for it. Let me know what you guys thought about this chapter down below. We'll be back in the next couple of days with a post-game video where we read through the comment section, so make sure to drop your comments and theories down there. And we'll be back soon, brothers. Thank you so much for watching. You guys take care, and peace out.